Xbox done? A retailer delists all Xbox One consoles from their store shelves following Microsoft's recent Xbox Game Pass announcement. Is this the end of Xbox as we know it? Is the age of the Xbox One coming to an end? Is the Xpocalypse finally upon us? Let's talk about that right now, shall we? What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And I wanted to have a little bit fun with the intro because I've seen some hot takes. Ooh, so hot. All over the internet today. You know what? I figured, you know what? I'll give my hot take. This video was requested. And actually, I got a couple DMs about it. And when I finally found out about the news, a retailer dropping Xbox One from a store shelves, I was like, whoa, this is pretty big. This is pretty big. I'm racing to find out who's dropping it. Is it GameStop? Is it Target? Is it Walmart? Is it Best Buy? Oh man, I was thinking, oh man, this is the pushback I was kind of waiting for from the 2013 announcement, when back then I was thinking, man, who's going to sell Microsoft's console with this whole used game shenanigans stuff going on? No one's going to want to sell it, right? So, okay, get to my computer, checking out the news, and it turns out it's a mom and pop shop in Austria. So, of course, the headline reads, Australian retailer delists all Xbox One consoles, of course, following Microsoft's recent Game Pass announcement. So, Gameware KG, who's an Australian retailer, they are delisting all of the Xbox consoles because, well, Microsoft consoles bring zero profit and only expenditure if Microsoft exclusively wants to profit from their software sales. The company is from Innsbruck, Austria, has been in business since 1989 and has had about 375,000 customers. Gameware tells Microsoft in a quote, "If you want to do business alone, you should do the work alone." Now you got to ask yourselves, why is this retailer upset? What has got its panties all twisted up and knickered? Well, it's the Game Pass announcement. See, Microsoft just the other day, 2 days ago, in fact, they announced that they are putting their own first-party title games day one into Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is a $10 subscription service where you can download a whole bunch of games. Now, previously, it only really featured older games. Half the catalog of the Game Pass is made up of 360 titles, which is fine. Doesn't do much for me personally, but there are a lot of great 360 games on there that you can play. So it's like half 360, half Xbox One games. But it was all old stuff that nobody was buying anymore, right? Well, with this announcement, Microsoft kind of changed the game a little bit here. So they're putting Sea of Thieves day one, Crackdown 3 day one, State of Decay 2 day one. I mean, you get the point. Every game that Microsoft makes exclusively for Microsoft Game Studios is going into Game Pass. And I was kind of thinking, I was wondering myself, how are retailers going to think about this? What is GameStop going to do? Because on the face value of this, if people are canceling their pre-orders for games like Sea of Thieves, like people are saying they're doing all over the internet, even though it's like number 4 on Amazon for the digital and number 10 for the physical at Amazon, people are saying they're canceling and going with the cheaper option with Game Pass. I figured some of these companies are going to kind of say something, a snide remark or something, because GameStop's whole business is about selling used games. And here we have the first shot in the war, the retailer war against Xbox Game Pass with Gameware. But is it exactly what it seems to be? I'm not so sure. In fact, my initial reaction when I was looking at all this stuff was, this kind of seems like a knee-jerk reaction and almost like they wanted to get their name out there in some sort of fashion. Now look, we all know PlayStation is dominating worldwide, especially in Europe. The Xbox One sells well in the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia. That's about it. It doesn't sell well anywhere basically in mainland Europe. Now Austria, I would imagine, doesn't sell a lot of Xbox Ones. Doesn't sell a lot of Xbox One software. Now, Gameware, like they said, they have 375,000 customers since 1989. That would be on the level of a mom and pop shop here in the United States. They don't see a lot of traffic. They probably don't sell a lot of consoles. And I think they're probably honestly looking for a way to stop selling the Xbox One. Because, as they noted, and this is very true, they don't make any money on selling the consoles. The consoles to them are zero-sum. They buy them from Microsoft, they sell them, and they maybe make $1 or $2. It's not really worth having in the store. But where they do make the money is they make the money on the games. They make the money on the accessories, right? So they see Microsoft potentially putting all their first-party games in Game Pass, and they get a little worried. They get a little flustered because they feel, even though there's no hard data to back this up, keep in mind, we have, number one, we don't know how well Game Pass is doing, and number two, we don't know if Microsoft's announcement is going to change the game in any sort of way. We theorize that it might, we speculate that it could, but we don't have any hard data saying that Microsoft saw X amount of subscriptions go up from the previous month from, that announcement. We don't know if people are going to be on board with this yet. I mean, people say they're on board and going to subscribe, but we don't know. We don't have the hard facts. It's kind of all just, people jumping the gun. So there's no data yet. But because they feel that people are going to buy less Microsoft first-party games, clearly, and that they want to profit exclusively on their own games, that it's no longer in their best interest to sell the console. So they're no longer going to sell it. Now, of course, they mentioned they're no longer selling the console. They mentioned that, they're not dropping everything about Xbox, just the consoles. Because, as we all know, the vast majority of Microsoft's business is third-party games. That's kind of why they built the Xbox One X. And third-party games, last I checked, they aren't going day one into Xbox Game Pass, which is kind of why I think this is a knee-jerk reaction and a thing from a company that just kind of maybe wants to get a little publicity out there. Because the vast majority of people, even though they might subscribe to Game Pass for $10 for Sea of Thieves and all those aforementioned games, all the other stuff, like the new Far Cry, Red Dead, the new Call of Duty, all the third-party games are not going to be on Game Pass. You can still sell those, which is why I think this is a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. Because all those games are still going to be available to purchase physically or digitally, because this is kind of an option, and this only kind of refers to, Microsoft's first party. So, to me, look, obviously you don't want a retailer to stop selling your console. That is not good news. But of course, you have to look at everything surrounding this. This company is based in Austria, a place where they don't sell Xboxes very much. They probably have a whole bunch of stock they never sold through. They're probably looking for any excuse to get rid of it, and they're using the Game Pass announcement to do so. This would be much bigger news and would be very serious if GameStop said something, if Best Buy said something, if Amazon said something, if Walmart said something. You need the retailers to sell your console in this day and age still. Regardless, even if you go to an all-digital ecosystem and you're not selling games anymore, who's going to sell the system? So you need retailers. You need their continued support. Because even though GameStop may not like this move, and maybe Microsoft will smooth it over with them by giving them like a higher percentage on the consoles and maybe a higher percentage on game sales to keep their stuff there, GameStop can decide to advertise more for Switch and PlayStation. If that's where they're making their money, they can have all the PlayStation stands and Nintendo Switch stands in the high traffic areas of their store and keep Xbox in the back. They could do that if they wanted to, and maybe they potentially will. Microsoft has to kind of smooth over relations with the retailers because they still need them to sell the console. And people need to get the console so they can subscribe to Microsoft's $10 Xbox Game Pass. You see the conundrum there. Microsoft needs the retailers just as much as anything else. They need the retailers to sell the console so they can sell the Game Pass to the customers that buy the system. So, like I said, I know there's a little bit overreaction from people. You know, like, they want to get this news out there. They want to be like, oh, you know, and people will use it for whatever purpose they want. You know, this is the coming end of Xbox. You know, this is you get what I'm trying to say. People will use this news as any sort of agenda for or against Xbox, so how they bring it. But I don't think this really means anything in the long run. It's a mom and pop store with 375,000 customers in the past 20 some odd years. That's not really a lot. They don't sell a lot of Xboxes in Austria. They're looking for just some publicity. And like I said, the third-party games that sell the most, they're not on Game Pass. People still need to buy consoles to buy that stuff. So if it was third-party games included day one, then I could get this, but otherwise I really don't, because it's only going to be like 3 games a year, because that's all really Microsoft puts out. So that's kind of my take, my hot take. Love them hot takes on this whole Austrian retailer dropping Xbox, signaling the coming of the foretold Xpocalypse. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Huge news, no news, fake news, you know, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for more content, as I have it drop daily. Hit the notification bell so you're always notified in case YouTube does not send this video out to your subscription box. Share this out on social media, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Thank you, guys.